Hey everyone, it's Video James, recording to give you my predictions for the Euro League, or not the Euro League, for the European Cup qualifiers for 2020, UEFA. This isn't from the beginning of the qualifiers. This is halfway through. We're about halfway through. We're almost done with these qualifiers. My dogs are looking at me like crazy. Like, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? But right now, it's a very complicated position where a lot of everybody's early predictions, of course, didn't end up the way they thought they were going to be. A lot of teams underperforming, a lot of teams overperforming. One in particular comes to mind from Group H, I believe it is. But before we get started, let's just run through the groups and how they were drawn, and then I'll get into their placements. Group A, we have England, Czech Republic, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Kosovo. In Group B, we have Ukraine, Portugal, Ukraine, Serbia, Luxembourg, Lithuania. In Group C, we have Germany, the Netherlands, Northern Ireland, Estonia, and Belarus. In Group D, we have Denmark, Switzerland, the Republic of Ireland, Georgia, Sakartvelo, and Gibraltar. In Group E, we have Croatia, Wales, Slovakia, Hungary, Azerbaijan. In Group F, we were given Spain, Sweden, Norway, Romania, Malta, and the Faroe Islands. In Group G, we were given Poland, Austria, Slovenia, Israel, North Macedonia, Latvia. In Group H, we were given France, Iceland, Turkey, Albania, Moldova, and Andorra. In Group I, Belgium, Russia, Scotland, Cyprus, Kazakhstan, San Marino. In Group J, finally, we were given Italy, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Finland, Greece, Armenia, and Liechtenstein. So, without further ado, I'm going to try and get through these predictions quickly, because twice now the video has corrupted, and we've had to re-record. Group A, I think it's obvious England's going to come out on top. They've gone undefeated, even though they've only played 2 games. 10 goals for, 1 against. That 1 goal was from Montenegro, so they've scored 5 goals in 2 games. Harry Kane really putting in the work for that team. And I don't know, I think it's quite exciting just to see that second place is up in the air. Because this, for me, was the group of death. This was any team could qualify for second. Even though a lot of people predicted Czech Republic, I disagree now. After their loss handed to them from England, after they have barely managed to really eke out a performance from everybody else. So, goodness. So, they beat Montenegro 3-0, which is not too out of this world. They beat Bulgaria 2-1. A decent game. But now Bulgaria's in last. Bulgaria's in 5th, Montenegro's in 4th. I expect Bulgaria to make a comeback, probably dethrone Montenegro from their 4th place position. But the real impressive team here is Kosovo. They just beat Bulgaria 3-2, which means this smaller group of people, whilst their defense could not stop Bulgaria from scoring an extra goal, their offense was strong enough to score goals against Bulgaria more often. And really, that tells me Czech Republic probably going to lose to Kosovo. England doesn't have to rely on the playoffs. They came in 3rd for the playoffs for the Nations League finals. So really, the real question is what team will advance from the playoffs from League A? Is it Portugal, Netherlands, or Switzerland? We'll get into that later. I think Kosovo is the favorite to win the playoffs for the D-League nations. But I also think they're the favorite to come in second for Group A of qualifiers. I see Czech Republic coming in 3rd, Montenegro 5th, Bulgaria 4th. I'm very upset by Bulgaria. Gone are the days of Stoichkov and Lechkov, sadly. I love the Bulgarian national team. I've always been a fan of Bulgaria, and now here we are. They're barely holding draws against Montenegro, against Kosovo. Those were the two games they drew, and then they proceed to lose to Kosovo 3-2, and then who did they lose to? They lost to the Czech Republic 2-1. But Bulgaria can still beat Montenegro. I just think the talent is there. They just don't know how to develop it. Bulgaria is behind. Their coaching staff is not up to par. Their team, they've got the talent. I keep saying that, but they're not reaching anywhere. You're not seeing any good Bulgarian players reach, the Premier League or Super League or La Ligun or Ligun or La Liga because no Bulgarian player is being called up. I think the best we've got right now is a guy in the Russian league, the Russian Super League from Bulgaria. It's just we're not seeing any talent coming out of Bulgaria, but we know it's there is the problem. Yet they have the fastest declining population in Europe, so that's where we're going with that. So yeah, Bulgaria 4th, Montenegro 5th. Group B, going to try and get through this faster. Luxembourg in 2nd. Ukraine is far and away in the lead with 10 points. They've played 4 games. They've won 3, drawn on 1. So that leaves them with 4 games left, 2 of which are against the bottom team, Lithuania. So that's an easy 6 points. So by the end of this, they'll have 16 points. So it's impossible, in my opinion, for Ukraine to lose the first place position from qualifiers. Even if they manage to lose against Portugal and Serbia, that will mean nothing. Portugal, despite winning the finals for League A, for the Nations League, haven't really been impressing so far. They have 2 draws. They had a draw against Ukraine, and then they had a draw against Serbia. That's not really something to be proud of. I mean, Serbia really on the low after their 5-0 loss to Ukraine, and they tried to make up for it with their 4-1 win against Lithuania, but I don't think that's good enough. That's not good enough. Ukraine looking at first place, of course. Luxembourg, despite being in 2nd now, their win was against Lithuania. Their draw was against Lithuania. Their 2 losses have been handed to them from Ukraine. What do you have to look forward to? Yeah, they're a minnow and they're outperforming. They're doing, as one of the Benelux nations, the only Benelux nation to never, accomplish more than what they've been given. This very rich, small nation who managed a 3-3 draw against Madagascar in a friendly recently during a tune-up for the qualifiers. If they can't... I mean, that 3-3 draw against Madagascar to me was impressive because for both of those nations, that was their tune-ups. For Luxembourg, it was for the qualifiers. For Madagascar, it was for AFCON. Hence why I think Madagascar is going to come in last because they drew with Luxembourg despite their high goal scoring. I think Luxembourg's going to come out of this in 4th. It's very sad, but true. The real question is who's 2nd or 3rd. I think Portugal's going to come in 2nd. I would be shocked if Portugal actually had to rely on their win in the Nations League finals to get through, especially with Ronaldo, especially when their rank is on the line. This is one of those nations that really cares about one rank difference. Unlike, say, if Luxembourg lost a rank, it would be like, okay, whatever. But if they gained a rank, if they gained 5 ranks, they'd be like, okay, cool. But for Portugal, it's a very big deal. So they don't want to lose anymore. They don't, well, not that they've lost, but they're going to see a couple games with Serbia, a couple games with Lithuania, a couple games with Luxembourg, and that's what's going to skyrocket them back into 2nd place. I just think Ukraine, from what I've seen, they're the team to beat. They're the team to beat. First place. I don't think they're going to lose that. Group C. Northern Ireland is in first with 9 points. Germany right behind them with 6. Netherlands with 3. Estonia and Belarus 0. Northern Ireland and Belarus have played 3 games. Everyone else has played 2. Netherlands lost a game against Germany. Germany, meanwhile, has managed to 2 wins. One against the Netherlands, one against Belarus, but the Belarus game was a 2-0 win, which is very low. Granted, Joachim Low was not available during the Belarus game. He was ill. Not that they needed Joachim Low for a Belarus game, but if that's what their team is like going up against Belarus without him, especially when goal difference could be crucial in these qualifiers, I see Netherlands probably overtaking Germany. I see Netherlands probably getting first place, surprisingly enough. Northern Ireland has only played against Belarus and Estonia. All 3 of those games were wins, but who's surprised? Estonia is one of the 3 Baltic nations. They're more focused on basketball. If you're Latvian or Lithuanian, I'm not sure about Estonian. I'm pretty sure it's a triathlons. But I don't see Northern Ireland coming out of this. I see Northern Ireland coming in third, which would be very sad. They could be very lucky and hit second. I don't think Germany's on the rise. They're trying to recover after a terrible World Cup, being knocked out of the group stage for the first time in 40, 50 years, if you count them as the West German side. Meanwhile, Netherlands doesn't really have a tough pot to play in. Germany really has to recover. They have everything to prove. Netherlands more so has everything to keep. Netherlands being a team that's just been dominating. They came second in their playoffs. If they do knock Germany out, if Germany goes from second to third, that would be, German football's done. But that would be a miracle. I think, like I said, Portugal is going to come in second for Group B, so Netherlands would qualify regardless. So it could just be Germany first, Netherlands second. It's real tossed up. It's really up in the air between those 3 teams, Northern Ireland, Germany, and Netherlands. Estonia and Belarus probably going to stay the way they are. Estonia 4th, Belarus 5th. Maybe Belarus can come out with a few games and impress us against Estonia and come in 4th. They did win their league, whereas Estonia came in bottom, but they did manage to draw with Greece, sadly. I'm a Greek guy. I have to feel for the Greek national team, for the Paratikos. So we'll see, but I think it's going to stay the way it is. Estonia 4th, Belarus 5th. Group D, Republic of Ireland with 3 wins, 1 draw. They're at 10 points with 4 games played. Denmark is second place with 5 points, 1 game won, 2 games drawn. Switzerland with 2 games, 1 win, 1 draw. Georgia 1 win, 3 losses. Gibraltar 3 losses. Gibraltar's going to stay at the bottom no matter what. I mean, I know a lot of people were impressed when they started racking up wins during the Nations League, which netted them, I think, a 3rd place spot in League D, which is good, better than last, like the 4 nations who came in last, but dead last. But Gibraltar's nothing to write home about. It's so small. It's this tiny little spot on the Iberian Peninsula. It's one thing if you're creating a national team for the Caribbean territories, for the Oceanian territories, but for Gibraltar, really, it's so tiny. It's this small little spot, but I've seen crazier things happen. Maybe it's because of a national identity. Faroe Islands has their own team because of their national identity. They have the right. Gibraltar had been fighting for a long time to get their national team. I mean, it's only fair, but Gibraltar really can't get out of this group alive. They haven't scored a single goal. They might be able to score a goal against Georgia. We'll see. 3 of these teams have a playoff spot. Switzerland came in last in their Nations League, so if they can't manage a top 2 here, they'd have to rely on the Dutch, the Portuguese, and the English all qualifying, which isn't out of this world, because Portugal is in a group that they could easily overcome, just not Ukraine. The Netherlands is in a group that they only have one team to worry about, and it's Germany, which they lost to once, but they have another game that they could play and beat them in. We'll see. And then there's England, who is easily topping their group. So if worse comes to worse, Switzerland still has a chance to enter from the playoffs, despite coming in 4th. Republic of Ireland, really impressive, really doing great. I predicted earlier last year that they'd come in on the 2022 World Cup. This is giving me hope right now, because they played 4 games. They drew with Denmark. They beat Gibraltar. They beat Georgia. It's really, and they beat Gibraltar twice. The problem is that their Gibraltar plays were very uninspiring. It's like Scotland. It's like Scotland playing against San Marino, which we'll get to later. But it could be worse. It could have been San Marino and they got those scores. Republic of Ireland is showing that their defense is very strong, and that's what matters right now, is that their defense is strong and they have more wins than anybody else. They also played one more game than 3 out of the 5 teams, or 3 out of the 4 other teams, but that's 3 wins to Denmark's 1. Denmark, who had drawn with Switzerland 3-3, Denmark, who had drawn with the Republic of Ireland 1-1, Denmark, who had oh man, it's so hard to keep track. They did manage a win over, I believe, Georgia, against Georgia, 5-1. So Denmark probably a favorite for second. I'm thinking Republic of Ireland first, Switzerland third, Georgia fourth, Gibraltar fifth. Group E, the actual group of death, because nobody has a fallback. Everybody here, it's do or die. There's no looking at the other groups involved. Hungary and Croatia are in first and second with a comfortable lead of 6 points. Both have 2 wins and 1 loss. Both have a +1 goal difference. Hungary is in the lead because they managed to beat Croatia 2-1. Wales with 3 points in third. Slovakia in fourth with 3 points and +1 goal difference, but Wales beat Slovakia, hence. And then Azerbaijan, once again, bottom of the barrel. Not bottom of the barrel, but they're at the bottom, which is sad for a team for a nation that's actually going to host the Euros in Baku. It's going to be sad if they can't. It's going to be pretty difficult for them to qualify at this point, but they were really hoping for a lot, and sadly their team is just not up to snuff. They got to solve their problems with Armenia, and that's maybe then they'll start to do better. Maybe Armenia will start to do better in that case too, but they're constantly fighting. Wales to top the group. Crazy, but I'm really big on the Welsh. I'm really big on my Red Dragons. Honestly, Wales is on its way to the 2022 World Cup. If it's not, I'm going to be very upset, but Wales is a team to watch out for. It's always been good. It just needs to get over that hump that it's been in, and I think they're going to do that by topping Group E. Hungary in second. Croatia haven't been able to relive the hype from 2018. I think they're going to come in third. I could be proven wrong. Hungary and Croatia, second and third, are very interchangeable. Hungary is just investing a lot into football right now. Croatia, not so much. Slovakia fourth. That's not crazy, but Slovakia usually does better, but they can't relive 2010, it seems. And Azerbaijan, dead last. Group F, our first 6-team group, I believe. Yeah, first 16 group. A lot of surprises. One of them being Malta being able to keep Spain from scoring a goal in the first half. than losing 2-0. But right now, Romania's on the up and up. Romania had lost to Sweden, so they're third, Sweden second, Spain first, Norway fourth, Malta fifth, Faroe Islands sixth. I think the bottom half is going to stay that way. I think Spain is going to keep the top position. Spain losing to any of these teams is a long shot. Maybe lose to Sweden, maybe lose to Romania. But I'll be honest, I don't see it changing much. I'd love to see Romania do better. They have the higher goal difference from Sweden, but they lost to Sweden, so yeah, they lost to Sweden 2-1. They also drew with Norway. Sweden also drew with Norway. Then they dismantled Malta. Sweden lost to Spain. It really depends as to what happens with Norway. If Norway can manage another draw with Sweden, Romania win. I'm seeing Spain, Romania, Sweden, or Spain, Sweden, Romania. But since I have to be a prediction channel, just because the Eastern European Balkan group are really trying to impress to try and, make their bid for 2030 World Cup legitimate, maybe Romania is going to come through. Maybe they're putting a lot of investiture into Romania right now. We'll see. I mean, Romania's never hasn't really been doing that great since 94, 98. But Sweden, meanwhile, making it to the group of 16, beating Germany, and South Korea out for the top place position, and Mexico. Saying that to myself now, Spain, Sweden, Romania, Norway, Malta, Faroe Islands. I think that's how it's going to go. I don't think the Faroe Islands are going to make a comeback against Malta. Malta have been doing a lot better than normal this year. Not that that's saying much, but with how they were able to defend against Spain, probably going to see Malta sit in fifth, which is good for them. Good for them. Group G, the big surprising one. By the way, Sweden and Norway have playoffs to fall back on should anything happen. Group G has Poland in first with 12. They're undefeated, which is awesome. They really had a sad early exit in 2018. I thought it was unlike them. I thought they were capable of doing a lot more with Malik and Lewandowski, but here they are. They're showing off that Austria, Israel, really just giving everyone a run for their money. They beat Israel 4-0. They beat Austria 1-0. They beat North Macedonia 1-0, but then I think they followed that up. Yeah, so, and they also beat Latvia 2-0. So they've played every team except for Slovenia in this group. And, I'm not too confident in Slovenia's chances, despite them pulling off a draw with Israel, who are somehow in second with 7 points, because they beat Austria 4-2. My friend in Israel is very excited. He's very happy. Austria, meanwhile, what are you guys doing? What's happening? Yeah, they managed a 4-1 win with North Macedonia, but that's North Macedonia. They won their D-League group and are advancing to the C-League, but it's North Macedonia. That doesn't impress me. That doesn't say you're a great team. That just really bumps up your goal difference, which could matter in the end. We'll see. It really does make up for their 4-2 loss against Israel and their loss against Poland. But Austria's in do or die. Israel is kind of in do or die. Poland really can't see them losing from here on out. They have another game against Latvia, another game against North Macedonia. To me, that's an easy 6 points. They have another game against Slovenia. They have 2 games against Slovenia. They could come out of here with a perfect win record. So we'll see. It depends if Israel can make a comeback after their 4-0 loss to Poland. But Israel right now I'm seeing second, Poland first, Austria third, North Macedonia fourth. Yeah, Slovenia fifth, Latvia sixth. Now you're surprised North Macedonia fourth, huh? Well, they're doing better for some reason. All the Balkan groups that you'd expect to be the bad Balkan groups are doing better, and all the good Balkan groups are doing worse. It's a weird dynamic, and I feel bad, but I feel bad in saying that Greece, one of the Balkan nations, is doing worse, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. Group H, which was a real shocker recently, was Turkey's 2-0 win over France. They were playing at home. If you were paying attention, you wouldn't be too surprised. It's still a little bit surprising, but Griezmann really wasn't performing up to his caliber. Mbappe, Pogba, really, where were they? Were you in the game? France was just so slow. Now Turkey have a perfect win record. France have a 2-1 win-loss ratio. No draws. I don't expect them to lose against Iceland, Albania, Moldova, or Andorra. But now the question is, like, can Turkey keep a high goal difference? And then if they do lose to France when they meet again, will France overtake them? Because this is another do-or-die group. None of these teams won their Nations League groups. And as much as it pains me because Turkey and France aren't necessarily my favorite teams, Turkey first, France second. Iceland, where have they been? I'll tell you where. Overhyped. They were shot way up into the stratosphere. They had an impressive draw with Argentina, but people say it's impressive, but I actually saw it as something that really wasn't a great game. It was down and dirty. Something was wrong with Argentina. It's the opening game, usually that happens. And then Iceland managed its point. But Iceland really not impressing me right now. This small nation had a really good run of it last Euro Cup. Not this year. I don't think they're going to make it into the qualifiers. Albania, fourth. Probably safe bet, which is sad. I love the Albanian team, but they're not doing as good as Kosovo. Well, they've also got a harder group than Kosovo. Then Moldova fifth, Andorra sixth, but that's child's play. That's who's the thinnest kid at I can't make that joke. But Moldova fifth, Andorra sixth. And that just comes down to population at that point. You know, these two guys are minnows. Andorra just sometimes can be a bigger minnow, sometimes it can be a smaller minnow, but this time around Moldova just so happened to be the bigger one. Group I, Belgium, Russia, Scotland, Cyprus, Kazakhstan, San Marino. Belgium in first with 9, Russia with 6, Scotland with 6, Cyprus with 3, Kazakhstan 3, San Marino nothing. Scotland has a playoff to fall back on. I'm going to be quick with this one. Belgium first, Russia second, Scotland third, Cyprus fourth, Kazakhstan fifth, San Marino sixth. I think it's going to go the way of the seeds. It just seems pretty obvious comparing teams. Belgium, the top team in the world right now. Russia, impressive World Cup showing, good team, just had a 9-0 win over San Marino. You know, that's just to make up the numbers. So it's not impressive that you beat San Marino. It's impressive that they got a lot of goals. Football Pharaoh predicted an 8-0 win. It was very close, but it was a 9-0 win, so it's even more impressive. So if the pundits are underestimating even by a goal, I think Russia is really showing off. Scotland, thankfully, have a playoff to fall back on. But after their loss against Kazakhstan, and they really have not been doing inspiringly too well during their San Marino game, they didn't manage. They 2-0 win. That's not impressive. You're playing against San Marino. 4-0, 5-0, not 2-0. It's too small to count. Maybe they can make a comeback. We'll see. They do have the same amount of points as Russia, but their difference is goals. And with the 9 goals that Russia just scored, Scotland's going to have a tough time catching up. Group J, the last group. Italy is in first with 9, undefeated. Finland with 6, surprisingly. Greece with 4 in third. Bosnia and Herzegovina with 4 in fourth. They drew in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So even though Greece and Bosnia and Herzegovina have the same score, since Greece managed to draw with them away, they're third, Bosnia fourth. Armenia fifth, Liechtenstein sixth. It's the worst feeling in the world. Italy first. Yeah, 3-0 loss, Greece. Come on. Where have you guys been? Former champions, and they can't even come close to what they used to. If Greece can take down Finland, yeah, I can see it. I can see Greece making a comeback, coming in second. Bosnia and Herzegovina can do the same thing, and they didn't lose as badly against Italy. So, I mean, or no, they didn't play against Italy. Point is, they beat Finland, Bosnia and Herzegovina. And right now, I don't see the Bosnians making it. I can see I can see all three of these teams coming in second. Finland has a playoff to fall back on. Bosnia and Herzegovina have a playoff to fall back on. But if any team's going to come in second, probably Bosnia and Herzegovina. Then regrettably, Finland in third, Greece in fourth. Then Armenia is going to get a little bit of a victory over Liechtenstein. Not being last in their group is nice. And then Liechtenstein, the little microstate, one of two doubly landlocked countries in the world, going to come in dead last of their group. For the playoffs, we already saw Portugal win, Netherlands second, England third, Switzerland fourth. So Portugal is guaranteed a Euro Cup no matter what they do. League B will have Bosnia and Herzegovina. They're probably going to go up against Sweden, and Ukraine versus Denmark. Bosnia and Herzegovina probably going to take down Sweden. Ukraine's going to take down Denmark. That's just top seeding. And then I'm going to see Ukraine finish off League B. But if they're already going to qualify, then that means, maybe Sweden's probably, who I'm thinking is going to come in last, is probably going to qualify no matter what, because all four of the first three teams I all said they're probably going to qualify. League C, Scotland, Norway, Serbia, Finland. Scotland will be playing against Finland. I see Finland beating Scotland. Norway playing against Serbia. Norway probably going to beat Serbia right now. Scotland going to win the third place game. Norway probably going to beat Finland. Finland coming in second, so that's very sad because I don't see any of those teams qualifying except for Norway because of that. Finally, League D. Georgia will be playing against Belarus. That's a pretty easy game for Georgia. North Macedonia against Kosovo. I think Kosovo is going to win. Georgia is going to win. North Macedonia going to take down Belarus for third place. Georgia probably going to get second. Kosovo first, but Kosovo will have already qualified. So that means Georgia, I think it's for the first time, will qualify for a Euro Cup. If my predictions are correct, we shall see. So we shall see. This has been Video James. Thank you for watching my Euro Cup predictions, along with my Euro Nations League predictions. I think it's one of the most exciting, one of the most intense Euro Leagues we've had in years. European Cup qualifiers we've had in years, where a lot of nations are really changing their dynamic. Like, we're not getting the same consistently that we've had over the past, decade. We've always seen surprises. Greece winning the Euro Cup way back when in 2000. Oh, God, I'm embarrassing myself by not remembering that. I think it was 2004. Was it not? But Greece winning the Euro Cup way back when in 2004. That's right, in 2004. We can see any nation go all the way. I won't give you my Euro Cup predictions because we don't know who's qualified yet. But you've seen my Nations League predictions. You've seen my qualifiers predictions. So now we wait. Now we wait. We're halfway through. Let's see what the next half brings us. And if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like this video or if you disagree with me, tell me why below. Like and subscribe in general if you want. I'd appreciate the views and the subscribers. Once again, shout out to Football Pharaoh. He helped me make these last two videos. This one on UEFA, the last one on Gold Cup. Not directly, but watching his videos, the questions about all the North American nations that, qualified. And then, seeing his viewpoints for a lot of the games that have been happening during qualifiers. Really, he's helping me indirectly. Again, thank you to all the bigger channels like Dominic Rich FC. Really, really good to see that football is getting popular, especially amongst the states. And without taking up more of your time, thanks for watching. This has been Video James signing off.